Hi, I'm Tracy Gilchrist. I'm without.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
It's so
and
nice to see you.
This is going to be a little hybrid. I'm going to do an interview, and then I have a little game to play.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Congratulations, first off, on M3GAN 2.0. And
Thank you.
I want to begin by asking you a little bit about playing this character, Gemma, who's so kind of in her head, but is forced to really become a parent, and that evolution for her. Would you talk about where she is?
Totally. I'm so sorry. I choked on my saliva, which is basic human existence 101.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Gemma of the first movie was like someone who probably had never very seriously entertained the idea of having kids. I think she would have said that was someone else's thing to do. You know, like for her, she was just in the business of bringing inanimate objects to life and to creating tools for people and kids in particular. Suddenly she ends up with the custody of her niece, and she's forced to develop these skills as a parent simultaneously with trying to and failing to integrate this new invention with her niece and seeing the disastrous consequences of that. Yeah. In this movie, she's now been a parent, so to speak, for a couple of years, and that hasn't necessarily made her an expert at it, although she's written a book about it.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who write books who aren't experts, but it's not a proof of anything.
Yes.
But I do think that she's a little bit more like dropped into her role as parent. The problem is she's misapplied it. She has misinterpreted her mandate to be protector, parent, rule setter for all children, and in the process she is neglecting the one at home that she should be spending the most attention to. Right. So it is another movie that deals very seriously with the question of stewardship and parenthood when it comes to both the kids that we have that are humanoid and the ones that we have that are not. And what happens when you bring a line of code online, or you write an algorithm into existence, you are the steward of that as well, and you are responsible for teaching it its ethics and setting its boundaries. And that sounds a lot like parenting to me.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And to that end, there's a scene in the film where I probably howled the most.
Okay, I'm very excited.
And I knew it from the first note.
You did not.
Here I go again. Big Kate Bush fan.
Wow, from the first note.
Oh,
That's
I knew.
Amazing. Well, that means that we wondered that, because with Titanium, people also knew that from the first note. Some of them, and then others, it like was a grower. It the audience realized. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. And I just wanted to hear about your experience with M3GAN singing this song to you.
She's looking at me like, be nice.
So earnestly. It's truly, I laughed a lot.
I'm so glad. I think
I'm being nice, M3GAN.
Yeah, she is. I know her looks. The thing about that, and all interactions with her in the movie, is like it only works if you're fully committed to it. It has to be done with full earnestness and full buy-in and authenticity. Like it doesn't work if I'm like winking at the camera, like I know the scene will eventually be funny. That doesn't work. Gemma's at a point in the movie when that happens where all of this is spoilery, obviously, but you know, she's really pissed at herself, and she's devastated and terrified that she will never see her niece again. Right. And the stakes of that, like, literally could not be higher. And here comes this speech that is trying to lift her up from the most unlikely source, someone that Gemma usually experiences as someone who's just taking her down mercilessly and judging her. Yeah. And she's like, "You've been watching me. You saw how bad of a job I've been doing as a parent." And M3GAN provides the counterpoint to that and says, "No, I have been watching, and I see what you've been doing as a mom, and you're doing a great job, and it's never enough." And then she segues into a song, and when the song first starts, Gemma feels pretty connected to her and pretty seen by her. And then as it continues, she's like, "Well, I'm just getting M3GAN now, and this is not sincere, because she's not capable of that, and it's not authentic. I'm just, this is in the movie. These are not condemnations of your character." And so, I think it's like it ends up being a moment where Gemma feels really hurt by it, because she's pulled in by her own creation, and she feels betrayed by it.
Yeah.
But the song is, Kate Bush's icon. Like, I feel so lucky.
It was great. And your reaction to it were just, that complete sincerity was so good.
Thank you.
So I want to be sure that I get here, because you've been a part of projects that are important to the queer community, from The Perfection, Girls, The Perfection, and obviously Fellow Travelers.
Yes.
And now you're in this franchise that is just beloved by gay men especially.
Yes.
And it's something that I think we need right now, is like something fun and joyful. It's about empathy.
Yes.
Would you talk about what it means to you to be a part of these projects?
Everything. I mean, honestly, like, I can't believe this is even a question that has to be asked anymore. That in and of itself is sort of surreal. But any project I'm in, if there's a capacity it has to speak to anyone on the margins, anyone who isn't always spoken to or treated with love and respect and kindness, like 100%, that makes it even more of a win. And being part of something like Fellow Travelers, for example, where you're telling a story that a lot of people don't know, the Lavender Scare and that whole part of our history, which is repeating itself as we speak. It's terrifying, and the only way we can avoid that kind of rhyming with history is to continue to tell the stories of it and remind ourselves of the inhumanity and the evil of it all. And I'm devastated to know that these stories are still so relevant today, and how wonderful to be able to bring someone to life who is so full of authenticity and is living in her most authentic self and is brash and has all the qualities that, you know, people that are living in marginalized identities have to have. And when they are brave enough in the face of such hatred and vitriol and inequality to live in their full expression of themselves, like, they deserve a M3GAN to be a champion and to be there to say, like, I commend you for living in your true expression. And you know, I think it's I'm devastated at the state of the world that we live in, where something like this has to be extraordinary and exceptional. And I hope that, you know, we can all just realize that everyone's just doing their best and is being themselves, and, you know, stop being in everyone's business. Just let people live. Let people love who they love. Let them be who they are. Period.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, I do have a game for you.
Okay.
All right. I made it up. I don't even know if it's a good game.
I'm so excited. I mean, making up games is like, I have a 3.5-year-old. It's like half my life being like, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, well, let's see if it works.
Great.
It's called Who Said It? M3GAN or a Drag Queen?
This sounds like it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
Okay, so the first quote is, I feel very attacked.
I think that's a drag queen.
Yeah. Laganja Estranja.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, I love it.
How about I See You?
I know the answer to that one, but it's not like a drag queen hasn't said it. I happen to know that M3GAN has said it, but
yes.
Yeah.
You're that girl I knew you were.
I think that's a drag queen.
You're good at this. Alyssa Edwards.
Perfect.
Your tone seems very pointed right now.
I think that's a drag queen too.
Yeah. Are you a Drag Race fan?
Yes. I'm not encyclopedic, but I am. And I can just hear these things. I can't ascribe them to the exact beautiful voice that said them, but yes.
That was Willem.
Okay, that makes sense.
This one's going to be, these are too easy. You need to learn some manners.
That's M3GAN. That's just as she's ripping off an ear of a child.
Yes. And the boss, should I call you Dad?
Oh, that's also M3GAN. Yep.
All right. And then here we go. Like I said, little girl.
That is M3GAN.
No, I got
It's
you.
not?
It's Tamisha Imam.
Interesting. I guess that's right. She didn't really say, she didn't interact with other little girls. But she should.
Yes.
And she would say that. We should just have some like just RuPaul quote pulling thing generate her lines for the next movie. That would be perfect.
That'd be perfect, yes. I have to wrap, but I can't leave without my final one, which is hold on to your vaginas.
I mean, when I saw the first cut of the trailer, I was like, okay, we are putting it in the trailer. And I was like, well, there's 2 mentions of the word vagina in this movie, and I guess we can put one of them in the trailer. That sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah, it is I believe she's speaking in the collective vagina. It's not necessarily gendered. It's sort of like just hold on to your parts and be ready. And it's a moment in the movie that's, I think the timing of it is pretty incredible. It's not where people would expect it to be based on the trailer, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.